Over 50 billion burger patties are consumed worldwide each year. Whether served in a fast food restaurant or cooked at home, they provide a delicious and convenient meal option. But how are these patties made on such a massive scale? From selecting the meat to packaging. The process involves several steps. Each step ensures that the patties are safe to eat and taste great. Let's take a closer look at how beef patties are made on a large scale in a factory setting. The first step in making beef patties is selecting high-quality meat. Factories usually source beef from reliable farms and suppliers. The meat used in patties often comes from different parts of the cow, including chuck, round, and sirloin. These cuts are chosen because they provide a good balance of flavor and fat content, which is important for a juicy burger. Before the meat is accepted into the factory, it goes through an inspection process. This ensures that it meets food safety standards and is free from harmful bacteria or contamination. The beef is also checked for the right color, texture, and freshness. Once the meat is selected and inspected, it moves to the grinding stage. The meat is placed in large industrial grinders, which break it down into small pieces. This process helps create the right texture for the patties. Factories usually grind the meat twice. The first grind reduces the meat into coarse pieces, while the second grind makes it finer and more uniform. This step also helps mix the fat and lean meat evenly, ensuring that every patty has the same texture and juiciness. After grinding, the beef is transferred to a mixing machine. Some patties are made from 100% beef, while others may include seasonings, salt, or preservatives. If any additional ingredients are needed, they are added at this stage. The mixing process is carefully controlled to ensure consistency. Large machines blend the ingredients evenly, making sure that every patty has the same taste and quality. Once the meat is properly mixed, it moves to the patty-forming machines. These machines shape the ground beef into uniform patties using molds or presses. The size and thickness of the patties depend on the factory's specifications. Some patties are thin, while others are thick and juicy. Factories use high-speed machines that can produce thousands of patties per hour. These machines ensure that each patty is the same size and weight, which is important for cooking consistency. The formed patties are then placed on conveyor belts, where they move to the next stage of the process. To keep the patties fresh and safe for transportation, they are frozen immediately after forming. Factories use special freezing methods, such as flash freezing or blast freezing. These techniques help preserve the texture, flavor, and quality of the meat. Flash freezing involves exposing the patties to extremely low temperatures in a short period. This prevents ice crystals from forming inside the meat, which can affect the texture. By freezing the patties quickly, factories ensure that they remain fresh until they reach the consumer. Before packaging, they go through a strict quality control process. This step is important to ensure that every batch meets food safety standards and customer expectations. Factory workers and automated machines check for several factors, including weight and size. Each patty must be the correct weight and thickness. Texture and appearance. The patties should be evenly shaped and free from defects. The freezing process must be checked to ensure the patties are stored at the correct temperature. Bacteria testing. Samples of the patties are tested in laboratories to make sure they do not contain harmful bacteria, like E. coli or Salmonella. If a batch of patties does not meet quality standards, it is removed from production to ensure that only the best products reach consumers. After passing all quality checks, the patties are ready for packaging. They are placed in plastic wrap, vacuum-sealed bags, or boxes, depending on where they will be sold. Some factories package patties in bulk for restaurants, while others create smaller packs for grocery stores. The packaging process is designed to keep the patties safe from contamination. Automated machines carefully place the patties in sealed containers, ensuring that they remain hygienic and fresh. The packaged patties are loaded onto trucks and shipped to different locations. Some go to fast food chains, while others are sent to grocery stores and supermarkets. And here we have an inside look at the factory of Ben & Jerry's, where their ice cream is made. At the factory, workers mix high-quality ingredients like milk, cream, sugar, and eggs. These are mixed together to create a smooth ice cream base. Next, the mixture is frozen while being stirred to make it creamy. After that, exciting ingredients like chocolate chunks, cookie dough, or caramel swirls are added. Machines then fill the ice cream into tubs, which are sealed and stored in freezers before being sent to stores around the world. Everything is carefully checked to make sure the ice cream tastes perfect. As we continue our journey into food production, let's explore how cow sausages are made in a factory. Factories use a step-by-step process to make them tasty and safe to eat. First, fresh cow meat is cleaned and ground into fine pieces. Spices, salt, and other flavorings are mixed into the meat to give the sausages their delicious taste. The seasoned meat is then stuffed into casings, which are thin tubes made from natural or synthetic materials. These casings hold the meat together and give the sausages their classic shape. Once stuffed, the sausages are linked into portions and cooked in ovens or smokehouses to enhance their flavor and ensure they are fully cooked. After cooking, the sausages are cooled and inspected for quality. They are then packaged in plastic wraps or vacuum-sealed bags to keep them fresh. Finally, the sausages are boxed and sent to stores, ready to be enjoyed in meals or on the grill. Now let's explore this tortellini factory that shows us how this ring-shaped pasta is processed. It all starts with mixing high-quality durum wheat flour and water in industrial mixers. Some factories may also add eggs for richness. The dough is then fed through a series of rollers that gradually flatten it into thin sheets. Next comes the filling, often a flavorful mixture of ingredients like cheese, meat, or spinach. The dough sheets are fed into a machine that precisely places small portions of filling onto each piece. The machine then folds and presses the dough around the filling, creating the signature tortellini shape. Depending on the product type, the tortellini may go through a cooking and quick freezing process. The tortellini is then packaged, labeled, and made ready for shipment, ensuring it arrives fresh and delicious. There's nothing quite like a well-baked croissant, with that crispy and soft in the middle, with the subtle flavors that melt in your mouth. However, croissant production must be done just right, especially when you're producing them on a high-speed line. The journey of a croissant begins with its ingredients. Factories use premium flour, rich butter, sugar, yeast, and a touch of salt to ensure consistent quality. The dough is mixed in large industrial mixers, where it transforms into a silky base, ready for the next crucial step. One of the defining features of croissants is their flaky and layered texture. This is achieved through a process called lamination. Large machines roll out the dough into thin sheets and layer it with chilled butter. The dough is folded and rolled multiple times, creating up to 27 layers of dough and butter. These layers are the secret behind the croissant's crisp exterior and airy interior. Once the laminated dough is ready, it's chilled to maintain the butter's integrity. The sheets are then cut into perfect triangles to create that iconic shape of croissants. Automated systems roll these triangles into crescents, a process that's both precise and mesmerizing to watch. Proofing is a critical step in the croissant-making process. The croissants rest in a controlled environment where the yeast activates, causing the dough to rise and develop its light and airy structure. Temperature and humidity are carefully monitored to ensure the croissants proof evenly, creating that perfect texture. Once proofed, the croissants are ready for baking. Industrial ovens bake them at precise temperatures to ensure even cooking. This is where the butter melts, creating steam that forms the iconic flaky layers. In just 20 to 25 minutes, the croissants emerge golden, crispy on the outside, and soft on the inside. Every croissant undergoes strict quality control to ensure consistency. Only the best croissants make it to the packaging line. The ones that don't meet the criteria are removed, ensuring only the best reach the customer. Modern packaging systems carefully wrap the croissants, sealing in their freshness. These systems can package hundreds of croissants per minute, ready to be shipped to bakeries and stores. Now, let's take a closer look at this pre-packaged sandwiches factory, using a streamlined process to ensure they are fresh, safe, and ready to eat. It all begins with sourcing fresh ingredients like bread, meats, cheeses, vegetables, and condiments. These ingredients are delivered to the factory and stored in temperature-controlled areas to maintain their quality. First, the bread is sliced and placed on assembly lines. Then, spreads like butter or mayonnaise are applied evenly using automated machines. Next, layers of fillings, such as meats, cheeses, or vegetables, are added according to the recipe. Another slice of bread is placed on top to complete the sandwich. The sandwiches are then cut, if needed, and packaged in plastic or cardboard containers. They are sealed to keep them fresh and labeled with details like ingredients and expiration dates. Finally, the packaged sandwiches undergo quality checks before being distributed to stores for customers to enjoy. Kit Kat has been a favorite among children and adults since its introduction in 1935 during the golden age of chocolate. It consists of 3 layers of crunchy wafer and 2 layers of chocolate-covered filling, all wrapped in smooth milk chocolate, a delicious and iconic combination. One of Nestlé's factories in York, UK, produces over 7 million Kit Kat bars daily. In the UK alone, 1 billion bars are consumed each year. That's about 1,900 bars eaten every minute. The production process is strategically organized, with all steps in the supply chain located near each other, except for the cocoa trees and their harvest. The journey begins with cocoa beans, mostly harvested in West Africa in March. After being sun-dried for about 7 days, the beans are sent to the production site in York. At the factory, the beans go through a 3-hour process of cleaning, which removes dirt and husking, where rollers crush the beans to release the cocoa seeds. The transformation into chocolate starts when the beans are vibrated to break the shells and expose the pulp, the flavorful, fatty interior of the seed. The broken husks are separated on vibrating filters, and the pulp is roasted in a giant roaster, much like coffee beans. The exact roasting time and temperature are top secrets, as they determine the chocolate's flavor. Once roasted, the cocoa is sent to ovens, where heat and pressure unlock its rich chocolate essence. The chocolate-making process continues with the production of chocolate liquor, which contains cocoa butter. After separating the cocoa butter from the solids, the remaining solids are processed into cocoa powder, a common product found in supermarkets. Cocoa butter is then mixed with cocoa powder, sugar, milk, and vegetable fats to create the chocolate we all love. The mixture is combined in a giant 1-ton mixer, forming a thick, sandy, and sweet chocolate paste. Next comes the conching process, where the paste is refined. This step grinds the chocolate particles into smaller sizes, enhancing its smoothness and creating a better mouthfeel. Longer conching times produce creamier, richer, and higher quality chocolate as the constant friction releases more flavor. Once conching is complete, the chocolate is tempered by heating it, then cooling it to around 27 degrees Celsius. This process prevents crystallization, which can cause a gray or dull layer on the surface, maintaining the chocolate's appealing look and texture. Meanwhile, wafers are prepared by mixing flour and water into a dough, which is shaped and baked at 150 degrees Celsius. Once cooled, the wafers are layered with a creamy filling, ready to join the chocolate in creating the iconic Kit Kat bars. The assembly of Kit Kat begins by layering wafers with filling, similar to making a 3-story sandwich. A wafer layer is covered with filling, topped with another wafer, and finished with a plain wafer sheet. Kit Kat's filling made from cocoa liquor, sugar, and a small amount of crushed Kit Kat bars. Rejected Kit Kats are crushed into a paste, which is reused to fill the wafers of new Kit Kats, a sustainable way to reduce waste. After 16 hours of mixing, the chocolate is ready to become bars. Machines fill 336 molds per minute, producing over 200,000 Kit Kats daily. The chocolate is pumped into molds to form the bar's exterior. Wafers are placed inside, and a final chocolate layer seals it. Once molded, the bars are cooled in a cooling tunnel to harden. Quality managers remove any defective bars, such as those with bubbles or cracks, crush them, and reuse them for filling. Kit Kat also produces Kit Kat Vegan, a plant-based version of the classic chocolate bar, designed to cater to those following vegan or dairy-free lifestyles. Instead of traditional milk chocolate, it uses a smooth and creamy rice-based alternative, maintaining the iconic taste and texture. The crunchy wafer inside remains unchanged, delivering the familiar Kit Kat experience with every bite. Finally, automated robots quickly wrap the finished Kit Kat bars, ensuring they're ready for packaging and distribution. After wrapping the bars in decorative packaging, they are ready to delight chocolate lovers around the world. With 7 million Kit Kat bars produced daily, the packaged bars are transported to a storage facility. From there, as orders arrive, they are moved to the loading area and dispatched to supermarkets, ensuring a steady supply of this iconic treat to satisfy global demand. Next up, let's take a look on how instant noodles are manufactured. It all starts with mixing wheat flour, water, and sometimes seasoning to create the dough. This dough is mixed and kneaded to the perfect texture for noodles. The dough is then rolled into thin sheets and fed through machines that cut it into long noodle strands. These strands are formed into the familiar curly shape, which helps the noodles cook evenly. Once cut, the noodles go through a steaming process to partially cook them. Steaming helps retain their shape and prepares them for the next steps. The noodles are cooled and placed into packages along with flavor packets containing seasonings. The packaging is then sealed to keep the noodles fresh until they're ready to be enjoyed. Here at the Gruen Fish Factory, you'll find state-of-the-art facilities that were recently renovated with new advanced equipment. One highlight is the MSC 55MA slicer, which can cut salmon into slices between 2 to 60 millimeters thick at precise angles ranging from 10 degrees to 70 degrees. Equally impressive is the deboning system, which works at an incredible speed of up to 50 fillets per minute, with an accuracy of just 0.2 millimeters. From the ocean to the can, the process of making canned tuna involves careful handling, cooking, and preservation to deliver a delicious and safe product to consumers. It all starts at sea, where fishing vessels are equipped with modern technologies to sustainably catch tuna. Once the tuna is caught, it's stored in temperature-controlled holds to keep it fresh during transportation to the factory. Upon arrival at the factory, the tuna is immediately unloaded and sorted based on size and species. This ensures that each batch of canned tuna meets specific quality standards. Next, the tuna is cleaned to remove any scales or impurities. They are thoroughly washed to prepare them for the next stages of production. Once cleaned, the whole tuna is placed into steam chambers or large ovens to be pre-cooked. This step helps to separate the meat from the bones and makes it easier to process. The tuna is cooked at a specific temperature and time to ensure that the meat remains tender while killing any harmful bacteria. After cooking, it's removed from the ovens and cooled down. Factory workers then begin the process of deboning and filleting the fish. This step is crucial for ensuring the tuna is free from bones, skin, or any undesirable parts. Next, the filleted tuna is portioned and placed into cans. Depending on the variety, it may be packed in water, oil, or brine to enhance flavor and shelf life. The liquid not only preserves the tuna, but also keeps it moist and flavorful for consumers. Once the tuna and liquid are packed into cans where they are sealed to lock in freshness. They are then subjected to a high-temperature sterilization process to ensure they are free from bacteria and have a long shelf life. This step is critical for food safety and allows canned tuna to be stored for months without refrigeration. After the sterilization process, the cans are cooled and sent down the line for labeling. Each can is labeled with important information like the type of tuna ingredients and expiration date. Finally, the labeled cans are packed into boxes and prepared for shipment to supermarkets and stores around the world. And here we have an inside look at how ketchup is made in factories, through a well-organized process to ensure it tastes great and is safe to eat. It starts with fresh tomatoes, which are washed thoroughly to remove any dirt or impurities. The tomatoes are then crushed into a thick pulp and cooked to enhance their flavor and remove excess water. Next, other key ingredients like sugar, vinegar, salt, and spices are added to the tomato mixture. These ingredients are blended together to create the ketchup's signature taste. The mixture is cooked again to ensure it's smooth and consistent. Once ready, the ketchup is filtered to remove seeds or skin for a smooth texture. It is then poured into bottles or pouches using automated machines. The containers are sealed tightly to keep the ketchup fresh. Finally, the ketchup is labeled and packed into boxes for delivery to stores and restaurants worldwide. And here we have a chocolate bar's factory. The process of making Reese's peanut butter cups involves combining rich chocolate and creamy peanut butter to create the iconic treat. It begins with preparing the peanut butter filling. A mixture of roasted peanuts, sugar, salt, and stabilizers is blended into a creamy but slightly gritty consistency. In the production line, specially designed molds are filled with a layer of melted chocolate to create the cup's base and edges. The molds are then cooled to harden the chocolate, forming a sturdy foundation for the filling. Finally, the Reese's peanut butter cups are removed from the molds, wrapped in distinctive packaging, and subjected to quality checks. Afterward, they are boxed As we continue exploring how beloved treats are made, let's take a closer look at the process behind factory-made apple pies. The process starts with fresh apples that are washed, peeled, and sliced into even pieces. These slices are mixed with sugar, cinnamon, and other spices to make the delicious filling. At the same time, dough is prepared, rolled out, and shaped into pie crusts. The filling is carefully added, and a top crust is placed to seal the pie. Each pie is then baked in large ovens until golden and fragrant. Once cooled, the pies are packaged securely and sent to stores so they're ready for customers to enjoy at home. Now, let's dive into the process of making apple juice. It all starts with selecting fresh and ripe apples, which are thoroughly washed to remove dirt and pesticides. The apples are then sorted to eliminate any damaged or unsuitable fruit. Next, the apples are crushed into a pulp using specialized machines. This pulp is pressed to extract the juice, separating it from the solids like seeds and skin. The extracted juice is filtered to remove impurities and achieve a smooth consistency. To preserve freshness and eliminate bacteria, the juice undergoes pasteurization, a heating process that extends its shelf life without compromising flavor. After pasteurization, the juice is cooled and poured into sterilized bottles or cartons. These are sealed to maintain freshness and labeled with production details. Let's take a look at the Baby Bell factory that produces millions of small snack cheese balls. It all begins with milk sourced from dairy suppliers. The milk is pasteurized to eliminate harmful bacteria, ensuring safety and freshness. Next, a starter culture and rennet are added to the milk, initiating the cheese-making process by curdling the milk and separating it into curds and whey. The curds are then cut and drained to remove excess whey, forming the base of the cheese. These curds are pressed into molds, shaping them into Baby Bell's signature small, round wheels. Once molded, the cheese is aged in a controlled environment to develop its mild and creamy flavor. After aging, the cheese wheels are coated in a protective layer of red wax, which seals in freshness and prevents spoilage. Finally, the wax-covered cheeses are wrapped in the iconic Baby Bell packaging. Pickle production in factories is a fascinating blend of traditional preservation methods and modern technology. It starts with the selection of fresh cucumbers, typically sourced from local farms which are carefully inspected for quality and size. Once selected, the cucumbers are thoroughly washed to remove dirt and impurities. Next, the cucumbers are either sliced into desired shapes or left whole, depending on the product. They are then placed in large brine tanks containing a mixture of water, vinegar, salt, and spices. This brining process is crucial, as it not only preserves the cucumbers, but also infuses them with their signature tangy flavor. The pickling process may involve fermentation or quick pickling depending on the desired product. Once ready, the pickles are transferred to automated filling lines where they are packed into sterilized jars. Sealed and labeled, the jars undergo final quality checks before being shipped to stores for consumers to enjoy. Each year, the global cookie industry generates over $30 billion annually, with Americans alone consuming more than 2 billion cookies annually. But have you ever asked how these beloved treats are made in factory? Chocolate chip cookies are typically produced in factories in large quantities through an automated process. The journey begins in the ingredient preparation room, where experts ensure that all components are ready to create the perfect dough. Key ingredients, such as sugar, oils, and flour, are stored in massive silos outside the factory. Maintaining proper inventory rotation and optimal storage conditions, including controlled temperature and humidity. Careful preparation of these ingredients is vital to ensuring the quality of the cookies throughout the manufacturing process. Once the ingredients are prepared, the dough is mixed using high-capacity industrial-grade mixers designed for large-scale production. The industrial mixer is specifically designed to blend large quantities of ingredients evenly and efficiently. The dry ingredients, such as flour, sugar, salt, and baking powder, are added to the mixer. Depending on the mixer's design, these ingredients may be added gradually or all at once. Once the ingredients are in the mixer, starts its operation. After the dry ingredients are thoroughly mixed, the liquid ingredients, such as butter, eggs, and vanilla extract, are gradually added to the mixture. Adding these liquids slowly ensures even distribution and prevents the dough from becoming overly thick. The mixer continues to operate, incorporating the liquid ingredients seamlessly into the dough. Once the dough is prepared, the chocolate chips are readied for incorporation. These small pieces of chocolate are essential for adding both flavor and texture to the cookies. The chocolate chips are carefully measured with the quantity varying based on the specific recipe and the manufacturer's preferences. Once measured, the chips are added to the dough, ensuring they are evenly distributed throughout. This step ensures every cookie is packed with the perfect amount of chocolatey goodness, contributing to the iconic taste and texture of chocolate chip cookies. The chocolate chips are gently mixed into the dough to ensure even distribution while avoiding any breakage. At this stage, the production line transitions to cookie formation. The machinery is inspected and adjusted to meet the required specifications for the desired size and shape of the chocolate chip cookies. This machine deposits precise portions of dough onto baking trays, shaping them into uniform round cookies. The forming process is finely tuned to ensure consistency in the size and thickness of each cookie. The amount of dough deposited is carefully controlled, and adequate spacing between portions is maintained to prevent sticking during baking and to allow for even expansion. Throughout the formation stage, visual inspections are conducted to identify any defects or irregularities in the cookie's shape or appearance. Any cookie that does not meet the established quality standards can be removed or adjusted manually before proceeding to the next step in the production process. Before baking, the industrial oven is preheated to the appropriate temperature, which typically ranges between 175 degrees Celsius and 190 degrees Celsius, depending on the recipe and manufacturer's specifications. The baking time generally falls between 10 and 15 minutes. During baking, the cookie dough expands while the chocolate chips melt slightly. As the cookies bake, they flatten and approximately double in diameter. Consistent monitoring of time and temperature is crucial to ensure the cookies bake evenly and do not burn. Once the cookies are fully baked, they are removed from the oven and allowed to cool on the trays for a few minutes. This cooling period helps the cookies set and prepares them for the next steps in the production process. After cooling briefly on trays, the cookies are transferred to cooling racks, where they are left to cool completely. Proper cooling ensures that the cookies harden, preserving their signature crispy exterior and soft interior. This process takes 10 to 15 minutes, allows the cookies to become firmer and develop their characteristic texture. The exact cooling time may vary depending on the size and thickness of the cookies. Before packaging, a visual inspection is conducted to assess the cookie's appearance and quality. Inspectors check for any irregularities or defects in shape, color, or texture. Cookies that fail to meet the established quality standards are discarded or repurposed. Once the quality inspection is complete, the cookies move to the packaging stage. Factories use automated packaging machines to ensure efficiency and consistency. Depending on the product and brand specifications, the cookies may be individually wrapped in plastic bags or packaged in boxes. During this process, labels or barcodes are applied to the packaging, providing important details such as the production date, expiration date, and ingredient list. From there, they are distributed to retailers, supermarkets, or distributors ready to reach consumers and bring joy to chocolate chip cookie lovers worldwide. Once harvested, the shrimps delivered to the factory, where they are washed thoroughly in cold water to remove dirt, bacteria, and contaminants, helping maintain their freshness. The shrimp are then graded and sorted by size and quality. After this, they are deveined by making a small incision to remove the digestive tract, which improves both appearance and taste. Next, the shrimp are peeled, and depending on market preferences, some may have their tails left intact. In some factories, shrimp are further processed into breaded or seasoned products. This involves coating the shrimp with batter, breadcrumbs, or seasonings before frying them in hot oil for added flavor and texture. After frying or final preparation, shrimp are quickly frozen individually on conveyor belts to preserve freshness and ensure easy portioning. Finally, the frozen shrimp are weighed, packed into secure containers, and stored at low temperatures, ready for distribution to markets. From a pharmacy on the streets of Atlanta to a global phenomenon, Coca-Cola has captured the world's taste buds. With an astounding 10,000 servings enjoyed every second, this iconic drink has become more than just a beverage. It's a symbol of refreshment and nostalgia. The production of Coca-Cola begins with the main ingredients include water, sweeteners like sugar or high fructose corn syrup depending on the country, caffeine, and a blend of natural flavors. The exact combination of flavors is a closely guarded secret, often referred to as Merchandise 7X. While most of the ingredients are common, the proprietary flavor mix is what sets Coca-Cola apart, giving it a unique taste that has been cherished for over a century. The process begins with purifying the water, which is the primary component of Coca-Cola. Factories use advanced filtration systems to remove any impurities, ensuring that the water meets Coca-Cola's high-quality standards. Purified water helps maintain a consistent taste, regardless of where in the world the drink is produced. After water filtration, it's time to make the syrup base. This syrup is the concentrated form of Coca-Cola that will later be mixed with carbonated water. The purified water is combined with sweeteners and the proprietary flavor blend in large stainless steel mixing tanks. Automated machines measure and mix these ingredients with precision to ensure consistency. Quality control is crucial during this stage, as even a slight variation could alter the drink's iconic flavor. The syrup base is continuously tested for taste, consistency, and quality. Once the syrup base is ready, it's time to add the fizz. Carbonation is what gives Coca-Cola its refreshing bubbles. This step involves pumping carbon dioxide gas into the syrup base under high pressure, creating the signature effervescence. The amount of carbonation is carefully regulated. Too much or too little could change the experience of drinking Coca-Cola. This is done in large carbonation tanks, ensuring that the gas mixes evenly throughout the liquid. While the syrup is being prepared, the factory also produces bottles for the beverage. Coca-Cola bottles can be made from either glass, plastic, or aluminum. Quality control is a top priority for Coca-Cola, as consistency in flavor and quality is key to the brand's reputation. Throughout the manufacturing process, samples are taken and tested to ensure they meet Coca-Cola's rigorous standards. Technicians test for taste, carbonation levels, and purity, ensuring each batch of Coca-Cola matches the brand's standard. Each bottle or can is carefully inspected for any defects before filling. Modern quality control technologies such as high-speed cameras and sensors detect any imperfections. Only bottles that meet Coca-Cola's quality standards move forward in the production line. The bottling process is a high-speed, automated operation. The carbonated Coca-Cola syrup is poured into bottles or cans, typically at a rate of thousands of units per minute. These filling machines are designed to minimize any loss of carbonation and prevent any outside contamination. Immediately after filling, each bottle is capped to lock in the carbonation and preserve freshness. The capping process is quick, often happening within seconds of filling, and seals the drink tightly. The caps are made from special materials that maintain the seal while withstanding the pressure inside the bottle. Once filled and capped, each bottle or can is labeled with Coca-Cola's iconic branding. The labels include important information such as ingredients, nutritional details, and the brand's trademark logo. This labeling process is also automated with high-speed machines applying the labels with precision to ensure they're aligned correctly and securely attached. After labeling, the bottles are grouped into cases and packaged for distribution. In most factories, Coca-Cola products are packed in cardboard boxes, plastic-wrapped, or pallets, making them ready for transport. Some factories also produce multi-packs for bulk buying, ensuring they can meet various customer needs. Once packaged, the finished products are ready for distribution. Coca-Cola uses a vast network of logistics to transport the drinks from the factory to distribution centers, and then onto retail stores. Refrigerated trucks are often used to ensure the drinks are kept at optimal temperatures during transport. In just a matter of days, a bottle of Coca-Cola can go from production to being stocked on store shelves, ready to be enjoyed by customers around the world. Lettuce is a low-calorie, nutrient-rich vegetable packed with vitamins A, C, and K, as well as folate and fiber. It supports healthy digestion, boosts hydration due to its high water content, and promotes heart health. Its antioxidants help combat inflammation, making it a refreshing and nutritious addition to any meal.